Hey everyone, it's me, Romie here. So, this is the review for the Haves and the Have-Nots season. I'm calling it season 4. Owen is calling it season 3, but I'm calling it season 4. Episode 4, An Evil Soul. So, it picks up where it left off, where you have Candace getting choked out by War. War is over because it's like, Candace, you gave me $100,000. You said you had $400,000 and you gave me $100,000. That's why we were cool. But now you go and I find out you got over $7.4 million and you gave me $100,000 out of that. You might as well give him $100. That's why he's upset. And so, he calms down once he sees that, wait a minute, that's Quincy. And he was like, you did that? And she was like, yeah, of course that's a lie, because we know Jeffrey did it. Her ass was getting choked out, just like what War is doing to her. And so but she says yeah, and he was like, oh, good job. Because remember, he hated Quincy. Well, actually, everyone pretty much hated Quincy. But they grew up on the same block and all that stuff. Because the backstory is, which we already knew, that War and Candace had a thing going because War was around Candace and Benny ever since they were little kids, because Hannah would take care of him along with her own kids, and so she treated him like a son, and he always remembered that, so he always looked out for them. And of course he always had a thing for candy cane. So he calms down for a moment and he's just like, give me my money. And he was like, I don't have the money, because remember, what's his name? Oscar? Whatever it was. The white guy she was dating, who conned her out of her money, which, bravo, because we know David set that up. Long story short, he took the money, and so Candace now has nothing in her bank account, and War is like, give me the money. I want the money. I want $1 million or whatever. It was like, okay, you spent 4.5 or whatever on the house, and so you tell me you can't give me $1 million? Actually 1.5? And so she's like, I don't have the money. He was like, Candy, you know I love you, but what you did embarrassed me, and now the streets will be talking. It's like, how are the streets going to talk if you're the only one that knows? He's like, of course, his pride, his reputation, and his mind. And so, as an end result, he shoots her. He shoots, but he misses because she moves. Of course, she moved. And so he's just like, give me my money. It's like, I don't have the money. I'll get you the money. You want the house? You can have the house. And he's like, what am I going to do with the house? And it was like, do you see what I do? Do you know what I do? Why would you offer me the house? I don't want your neighbors in my business. They're going to be like, what is he doing there? And then everything's going to be ruined. And so she was just like, all right, I'll figure it out. I'll get you your 1.5 million. And so there's the plan. Well, he was also like, well, that, and do you think there's $1.5 million in between them legs? I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, I know we hate Quincy, and we knew that War deserved to be upset, and we were excited once he found out. But now that he did, it's like, because Candace is on the losing side, and she's been on the losing side for a while. So now it's kind of like, oh, I feel a little bad. Nah! Yeah, so Candace agrees. She's going to get him the money in 7 days. It's 1 week. 1 week. And so he's okay, ready to leave. I think he actually shoots twice, if I'm not mistaken. But, of course, he's still pissed off because he's like, a federal judge, Candy. A federal judge. I went and did what I did to a federal judge. And you were paying me by doing this to me? So she was like, all right, I need a favor. And he was like, anything, what? And I'm just like, what the hell? You were just mad at her a second ago. But, oh, whoops. So she was just like, yeah, I need you to help me move the body. And he had this look on his face like, did this chick really just I tell her either die or give me my money, and she goes and says, trying to broker another deal by saying, I need you to help me move the body. And he was like, all right, so I can help you move the body or I can kill you. I'm only doing you one favor. What do you want? And she was like, oh, I'll take care of it. I'm like, damn right you'll take care of it. Why would you in the first place? I am getting too wrapped up into this. Anyway, so we have Wyatt and his privileged self. He's there at the office taking the drug test. And so Wyatt is just, you know, he has the container with the fake fluids or whatever to help him pass the test. I forgot exactly how that works. I think you put the pee in the bag, you mix it up, and it makes it indistinguishable. Or maybe the pee is in a warm bag or something. I don't know. I don't have time for those types of shenanigans. So anyway, we have him talking with Jennifer, and it's like, do you have a place to stay? And he was like, of course. Where else? I forgot what the hotel was called, but I'm like, wait a minute. If that's the only hotel that you guys stay in, when your parents get out, they're going to come for you. What the hell are you thinking? But he's not thinking, because he was just doing drugs the other night. But, you know, he had to keep it together so that he could play the poor, innocent, rich, entitled kid that needs to do good, but he's been doing bad, and his parents are just so crooked, and they're actually trying to kill him. And it's just like, I really dislike you. So anyway, we get to one of the best scenes of the episode, where it's Maggie Day versus Jennifer, the DA. Oh, I like that. Maggie Day versus Jennifer, the DA. So it's messed up because Maggie's just like, and Jennifer's just like, so what are you doing here? And long story short, Maggie, of course, went to the same judge that Jennifer knows and got a court order so that David could get out. Now, notice I said David, Mr. Harrington. No one else. And so Jennifer was just like, why would you want only David when you're supposed to be representing Jim? It's like, I do work with Jim. In what capacity? And it's like, of course, I'm his campaign manager. What else do you think? And she was just like, because basically, we know that David didn't sleep with Maggie, but we don't know if he slept with Jennifer or not, or if this was another Maggie Day situation. David, whatever he has, I don't want. I don't want for one simple reason. I'm gonna keep it very generic, but pretty much had some situations like that. Not to that extreme, but just in general. So it's like, I completely understand what's going on there. Now again, I don't know if he and Jennifer did anything, but whatever he has, guys, that's not something we want on that level. Because you know how crazy you look when it's like, anyway, just the thirst. There's nothing attractive about the thirst. Anyway, yeah, so we get to the scene where, what's her face? Damn, what's her face? Mrs. Cryer, you know, whatever her name is. Catherine. Catherine is just like stone-faced to Jennifer. She's not telling Jennifer a damn thing. And, I skipped a part. Benny actually talked with his partner. You know, I don't know if he's white or whatever, but the guy who doesn't like war. And this is when Benny talks about how war was around his family, and he, when they were growing up, and he looked out for us, and he even was the one to sponsor our team and give us those jerseys and stuff. You remember those jerseys? And it was like, yeah, that was because of war. And I was like, oh, okay. Still don't trust him. And why the hell would you just go and give up your sister's address to the guy? And it's like, that's my guy. What are you talking about? So then we get to I love Catherine this season. she is ready to kill. And I'm so excited for it because, for the most part, she hasn't done too much wrong. If you really think about it, she's actually one of the few innocent characters. Innocent. Okay. She's just stubborn. Aside from that, she hasn't done much wrong. So yeah, we have the foolery, the tomfoolery that is Jennifer interrogating her, and Catherine's just unfazed. Catherine is so unfazed that she's just like... So while Jennifer's like, your father did this, your father did that, you know, essentially I was like, damn, did Tyler Perry write in a Bill Cosby skit monologue? Because I'm like, this is sounding a lot like Mr. Cosby, but in a very general manner, drugging girls or giving girls certain drugs, them being young, having them doing something strange for scholarships. And Jennifer was like, and then Catherine was like, oh, so were you one of them? Was this from personal experience? And of course she was like, no, thankfully I wasn't one that had to go that route. But Catherine was essentially like, oh yeah, you know who my father was, right? And essentially I'm his daughter. And so it really doesn't matter what you say or think, because I am his daughter. What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? And she was like, you bet, if you were a scientist, you'd be skilled in oxygen. And by the way, you'd be taking notes at this point, because you couldn't divide the air. So we're pretty much done here. And I was like, whoa, what? And I still don't get it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, what the hell? Someone let me know what that whole monologue meant in general. And so, because it was just a lot. And oh my gosh, the best part came up when Veronica got put in the cell that's right across from David and Jim. I'm like, oh, damn, Tyler. Here we go. So Veronica has this, because of course the news is out. They know. And it's just like, David, so you're not talking to me? And Jim's like, of course not. Why would he be talking to you? And it's just like, wow. Jim, I'm talking to some, Veronica was like, I'm not talking to someone that has no testicles. And Jim was like, well, I'm glad you were enjoying someone's testicles. Okay. So, that was a mess. That was a mess. And David looked like if he could, well, but then again, it's not in David's nature, so I'm not even going to put it out there. He was just so hurt. He was like, And so Jeffrey comes into the picture because the monologue was really between Veronica and Jim being petty. And David was just like, enough! Sit down and shut up! And it was like, finally! And so then when Jeffrey comes into the picture, things get crazy because Jeffrey is on 100. Remember, he's drunk. This cop guy just fondled him. So he's over it. And he's just like, I cannot deal with you today, tomorrow, or forever. Shut up. And I was like, oh my gosh. Jesus be praised. Because it was finally happening. Veronica's grip on everyone was loosening. And they were just over it. They were just over it. And Jeffrey was like, you know that, we know Jeffrey's gay. We know he's gay. And that's just how it is. You cannot change that. No matter how much you try. This is what Jim was saying. And, of course, David's holding Jim back. And I'm like, David, stop it. This woman cheated on you. And it was interesting because the truth was almost about to come out about how Jeffrey doesn't know who, what's his name, doesn't know Benny. Oh! Oh! That's a lie. Jeffrey has seen Benny before because of Candace, so he knows that's Candace's what do you call it? Candace's brother. But I'm trying to think, why didn't he say anything at that time? Was it because he didn't want to hurt his father, or if he didn't make the connection because he was drunk? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm like, wait a minute, Jeffrey, you forgetting something, buddy? So the last scene was, but I mean, the scene was good. It was like, bitch, ho, skank, shut up, sit down. All to Veronica. It's like, I'm done with you. You can't do anything to me anymore. Yeah, I need to wash my face. But yeah, the last scene was with Benny pops over to Candace's house, and he wants to come in, and Candace, of course, is like, no. And the nosy neighbor across the street is watching, and it's just like, this chick. Someone needs to do something about this chick. And so he was trying to say how mom's at a hotel, and you need to do something about it. And it was like, okay, so what's the problem? What is the problem? What do you want me to do? And it's like, long story short, he was coming in because wanted to discuss this further. And then he comes to the house and sees that Quincy is dead on the floor. So that's how it ends. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. This episode was good. Next week is going to be even better because it looks like Jeffrey is going to explode on Wyatt. It looks like Benny's going to figure out who his sister really is. It looks like they may track Quincy's body to Candace's house. I still think that little Quincy was drugged. That they gave him some drugs, and so he's going through withdrawal. Ooh, David and Jim are fighting? Ooh, next week is going to be fire! So yeah, let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you next week.